You need a. After the meeting, if you stay around, no pressure.
You don't have a hand for it.
I know. Yeah. Okay.
I didn't log in downstairs. I usually do.
All right, it is 7:02. I'd like to call to order the June 28, 2022 Waukegan Public School Board of Education meeting. The board previously met in closed sessions under exception C1, C2, C11, C21. I'd like a roll call, please.
Mr. Riddle?
Present.
Ms. Callahan-Wozniak?
Here.
Mr. McBride?
Present.
Ms. Gonzalez?
Present.
Ms. Hannah?
Yes.
Ms. Leguizamo?
Present.
President Ewing?
Here. So we do have all board members present. I am going to ask if our principal of Oakdale, Miss Catalina Quiones Nelson, would be so kind as to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, President's report will be brief. Had a wonderful Juneteenth celebration this past weekend, as well as Father's Day to all of those individuals. I'm sorry, Superintendent, I'm only going to mention it because I know, forgot to send an email, but related to that, it's just looking at when the holiday falls. I know we made it a floating holiday, but I wanted to go back and review to make sure that it's actually celebrated on whatever the federal holiday is. So that'll be something that I'll be bringing as a suggestion and hope to get board concurrence for. There are tons of community events that have been happening. Me and I know Ms. Gonzalez had the opportunity to attend an event at Stretches with the Family First Center of Lake County, in which she did face painting, and so there's things that'll be happening all out throughout the summer, and so I hope that we can get engaged and get involved and support as a district. Today is election day, so I hope you all voted, and I will not belabor the point. There's some things I'll be mentioning later on. With that, I do not see our student board member who may be out of town due to it is summer vacation. So we're going to move down to our special recognition and presentations, Jrotc. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I don't know what you presented, so it's like
We're presenting, so I wasn't sure if that was. Oh yeah, all right. Two outstanding cadet members come up here. All right. Okay. So, all right, it is on. All right. Apologize. This is my first one being here, so I'm sorry for that too. Okay. So my name is Sergeant First Class Jeffrey Nasser. I've been hired. I'm the head coach of your nationally ranked Waukegan Jrotc high school drill team, and I have two of the outstanding members with me. I have cadets Iris Gamboa and Samantha Torres. So yeah, very outstanding young ladies on the team and just in the program and in general. I'd like to thank you all very much and say good evening and appreciate you all allowing us to come here and give us a few moments of your time. I know you all are pretty busy. If you'll indulge me for a second, I'd just like to say, I served our country for 33 years. I did a tour in Iraq, Korea, retired in 2017, and then got hired on here in 2018. And by far, I mentioned that just to say and lead into being a part of this program, the school district, the community here, even though I live in Wisconsin and drive back and forth, but still I'm part of here. And coaching this team, it's just been like absolutely hands down one of the best blessings and things I've been fortunate to be a part of. So I really got to give it up to these two and the team and just how I've, and the experience over these last 4 years working here. So, yeah. So, I know you all see them out and about, but just the hard work, the dedication, commitment, the resiliency, the laughs, the smiles, the tears, if they don't perform maybe as well, and just that support that they give each other during those kind of hard, difficult times, they make you proud. I promise you, everywhere we go and travel, coaches, other people always come up to myself and Sergeant Fugate and just tell them how impressed they are with just how they conduct themselves and represent. So you all, just know that they're representing very well and be very proud of them. So with all that being said, yes, the main reason we're here is to thank you all, board. Thank you all for your support over the years. I know earlier in the year, Mr. McBride, where are you, sir? Okay, we talked on the phone. I know Mr. Mark Jones was going to help us out with some things, and then Mr. McBride, you kind of took it and ran with it for us, and you all blessed us very much at the beginning of the year. With the drill team, there are a lot of expenses that we have traveling. The Army contributes some, but obviously traveling and doing what we do and them getting that just experience as young adults, just getting out there and seeing other parts of the country and performing, it helped out immensely. Just with new supplies, whether it was color guard equipment, T-shirts, new exhibition uniforms for the team. Otherwise, they have to come out of pocket for that. Even whenever we go to our trip for Army Nationals and all service nationals in Daytona, every team member has to provide $250 themselves. So we know, some have it and not necessarily some don't, and so that helped out immensely with that. We didn't have to collect that from each team member. So again, thank you all very much. And so just as a small token of our appreciation, we have a team photo from our trip to Daytona. So we'd like to just present this to you all. Come on up, Sam. So yeah, just really want to thank you all for your support. Hopefully this continued support.
Good job.
Definitely appreciate everything.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fist bump is appropriate.
Absolutely. And look, we shouldn't.
Ladies, thank you guys for coming.
Don't forget the other side.
Can I ask a question?
I have a question.
And, yes.
And I'm sorry, if you want to step back to the mic, only because people are watching online.
And over there as we walk out. Yes, questions then.
Yeah, I just wanted to know that there is, or is there a JROTC budget?
Currently, no, but I do know that Colonel Painter is towards the end of the year was trying to get that in the works, but currently there is not an actual budget to help us with our clubs, like even Raiders traveling to competitions or us traveling. It's all during the summers and school year fundraising. Like I mentioned earlier, the Army does provide, some money towards the bus costs and lodging and stuff like that, but doesn't cover everything. But currently, no, there is not an actual set-aside budget, but Colonel Painter is in the process of working, to get that there for us.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
So for clarity, but the board did assist in sending and making sure that the students were able to go this year.
Yes. You all, the contribution that you all made to the team assisted with all that,
Right.
bits and pieces like I mentioned with the supplies that we needed, the uniforms for the team, because otherwise, uniforms are about $65 a pop, plus traveling money when we stop, they do have to come out of pocket, but having that financial support there made it possible for them not to have to spend as much and to cover the cost, some of that cost for our trip to Florida, sir. Yeah.
Okay, and the reason I asked, Mr. President, was because when we were developing the budget, I just assumed that that JROTC was in the budget because they JROTC has our students, and they, I mean, why wouldn't we put them in with the on the budget development? And I understand that the Army or the military pays part of things and the district pays part. I understand that, but I did not know that we didn't, put them in.
What
Yeah,
I want to do
Superintendent.
is, Superintendent, if you can hold on, is if we get Ms. Leguizamo, because I know we got the ladies here, and then we can have Ms. Polk address that budget question directly. Ms. Wozniak?
I missed the last couple of Saturday car washes. When's the next one?
Oh, yeah, okay, we're having them every Saturday in the month of June, the rest of this month and July. So we'll be out there
Okay.
Saturday.
Even
Weisfield from
July
like,
4th weekend? This weekend?
Every Saturday in July, Weisfield, 9 to 2:30ish, depending on how busy.
Great.
I'll
So
be
yeah,
there.
by all means, $5 a car wash, come on by, hit the tires for you and all that good stuff.
$5.
So are you marching in the parade as well, 4th of July parade?
That I am trying to get
Independence
people
Parade.
for, because yeah, I know July 3rd is the American Independence Day parade, and so we do have a small color guard and like the leadership and the banner.
Good.
But like the July 4th one, I'm trying, but again, a lot of the team, they do have family plans, and so that one I'm not 100% on.
July 3rd.
It's July
is the parade.
3rd. But okay, July 3rd.
July
Now,
3rd, yeah.
yeah, yes, the July 3rd parade, yes, we'll have some people out there,
Good, good. Super.
definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah, and
Oh, yeah.
Did you have a question, Ms. Leguizamo? I thought I saw your hand.
Have we gotten you the extra flags for the Batigas parade? No. Okay. We'll talk more. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right, got you there.
Go ahead, Mr. McBride. And then Ms. Anderson.
Just want to say I don't want to take credit for that, but basically what I did when you talked to me, I took it to those that's in charge that can make that decision. And when I talked to the superintendent,
Okay.
she believed in you guys, and that's how it
Yeah.
happened. And I think going forward,
Thank you.
I would suggest to you next time, just ask. That's all
Okay.
you got to do. And I say that because you guys keep us on the map, and you've been had us on the map. I've been around 16 years. Y'all been had us on the map ever since then.
26 years.
I mean, we try. We all do our part. So, yeah, it's all good.
Absolutely.
No, it's a stellar program, and we accept this gift. I'm sure Mr. Alajakis will find a place here at Lincoln Center to have it housed or hung, it maybe in superintendent's office. But we,
What about on our wall back there?
On the wall, that's blank.
the blank wall. Like I say, we'll find a location for it. We don't have to deliberate that today, but
Just
we will.
a small side note, sorry to cut you off, Mr. President, but if we have it on that wall, that would be the second gift that JROTC gives this boardroom.
Absolutely.
Because my friend, the commander at the regiment's commander
Yes.
at that time when we graduated,
We
he
sure
made that
did.
for our
Sure did.
district.
Yes,
Nice.
their class
So
did.
a mural can happen. I don't know.
Well, thank
Yeah.
you.
No, thank you all very much.
I mean, had let the superintendent, she was gonna say something about JROTC in my question.
I'd ask
About the
for
budget.
us to finish so then Ms. Polk could present on the budget. Or was there something else you wanted, Ms. Hannah?
No, I just thought the superintendent was gonna say something.
No, thank you, and we
Well, we're good.
appreciate you all. You're good, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all. And then Ms. Polk, if you want to come up and speak to.
No, and then we'll, if there's more, if Ms. Polk needs to chime in, she will definitely. Dr. Note, can you come stand by one second, just in case? Oh, she's coming back to you.
Because I don't understand.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Just wanted one point of clarification. Under the direction of our Director of Post-Secondary, JROTC did submit a budget for FY23. She worked with Colonel Painter. They have a budget where the funds have been allocated in the budget for the program.
You mean 22, 20?
Every year.
Yep.
Every year.
Starting next year.
Since she's been working with Mr. Painter, they've been submitting a budget to the Finance Department.
So we got it this year for this coming year.
Yes.
So you do have a budget, sir.
Colonel Painter worked with Dr. Stacy Strategakis. They went through the budgeting process of like any other department in the district, and there was budget requests that were submitted.
Yeah.
You want to add any more?
Well, I can certainly say he knows. I'm a 20-year vet.
Yeah.
Master Sergeant, I would never slight you.
In the mic.
You do have a budget in.
Yes, sir.
Did you say Master Sergeant?
He knows it.
No, so what I do want to say is that we want to support our JROTC, and our students do compete. And so if there are those unexpected costs, those things that we want to make sure that you all have the opportunity to compete at the highest level with the equipment that you all need. You have the commitment from this board that we'll do so. So we appreciate you guys coming out. Thank you for making Waukegan proud, and we appreciate all that you all do. With that, we are going to continue through our budget. So we have approval of minutes. So we have 8A, approval of minutes of the open session meeting of September 28th, 2021.
Can we do these all together? Or
Wait,
no?
which one are we at? Oh, no, we'd have to do, Board President, if I can ask that we do A, B as in boy, E as in Edward, all three together, all of those, there were no absents.
And this is the question for Kathy that I'm going to ask now, and I know we have a motion on the table, but from legal, we have a practice on passing on the minutes because we were not in attendance. Why? If we were moving, is that has always been.
I would imagine that practice stems from you can't weigh in on whether the minutes accurately reflect the discussion.
Okay, so the motion was to approve. Repeat the motion, please, Ms. Leguizamo.
The motion is to approve minutes A as in apple, B as in boy, E as in Edward.
Motion.
Second?
All right, so we had a motion from Ms. Leguizamo, second from Mr. Riddle. Any comments, questions, corrections to any of those minutes? If not, I'm going to ask that we take them by a voice vote. All in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Minutes are approved. Items carried. All right, so now we are going to go to C.
We could do C and D, Board President. It's just Mr. McBride that was absent for those.
So a motion to approve
Second.
items C and D, March 8th, 2022, and May 11th, 2022.
Correct.
We have a motion from Mr. Riddle, a second from Ms. Leguizamo. Again, I guess I'm going to do a roll call due to Mr. McBride's absence. If we can have a roll call vote.
Mr. Riddle?
Yes.
Ms. Callahan Wozniak?
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes.
Ms. Hannah?
Yes.
Ms. Leguizamo?
Yes.
President Ewing?
Yes, item approved, motion carries. We are now going to approve the.
He still has to say
F and G.
Mr. McBride's did a pass. We still have to call his name.
Yeah, we still have to call his name.
I still have to call his name?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. McBride?
So a pass for Mr. McBride. Motion approved. Item carries. We are now at item F, approval of the minutes of the open session meeting of May 17, 2022.
Mr. President, I'll make
G.
a motion
F and
that
G.
we approve May 17th and October 25th, both F and G, because
Second.
only Ms. Hannah was absent at that time.
For those two. Agree. Second.
Motion was Mr. Riddle. Second, I heard first Ms. Leguizamo. If we can signify by a voice vote, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Oh, sorry. Roll call, please.
Mr. Riddle?
Yes.
Ms. Callahan Wozniak?
Yes.
Mr. McBride? Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes.
Ms. Hannah?
And pass.
Ms. Leguizamo?
Yes.
President Ewing?
Yes, items approved, motion carries. We are now at opportunity for public comment. When I call your name, please come up to the microphone. You will see on the screens that there'll be a timer of 3 minutes. We ask that you refrain from mentioning staff and student names in your remarks. If you need translation services will be provided for you, and you will receive 6 minutes to allow for translation. The first name on the list is Pat Vukovic. And Ms. Vukovic, whenever you start speaking, your time will start.
Okay. First of all, I want to thank the board for giving the $1,000 COVID incentive to the staff for all of their hard work during COVID. But I just want to make, I don't know if you're aware that there were a lot of strings attached to that motion or that what you passed. I know in December you gave 4 days off to admin for 4 days with pay. I know it didn't cost the district money. I understand all of that. It's just that you gave that to them. And really, there were almost no questions from the board on any of that. But now I notice that the principals are included in the $1,000 COVID incentive, and they were also included in the 4 days off at Christmas time, I assume, because they were listed in there at that time, but I don't know. The other thing is that the retirees for this year, and due to I know there's a cap on state with 6% that the retirees get for the last 4 years of their years here, and that they will not be getting their checks by June 30th along with all the other people that are supposed to get it. But here's the one that kind of surprised me when I got a text from a teacher friend of mine that if someone is on the retirement track, so let's say I'm just going to leave, for example, 4 years before I retired, I made the notice that I was going to retire, so that every year after that, my last 4 years of teaching, I got 6% raise. If anybody this year are on the track, they're not getting their $1,000 incentive for 4 years until they retire. They're not, that's what is written in, right, that's my understanding from what I received from someone in the union. And I think that, the board may be different by then. Administration for sure is going to be different because people are in and out all the time. And I'm just wondering who's going to remember that when somebody retires in 3 years or 4 years or 2 years, that they're due that money after June 30th, so they're not breaking the Illinois 6% cap thing. So I just wanted to make sure everybody is aware of that, because that it was a lot more involved in this one. They had to be, employed before December 2021, and if they're a 12-month employee, it'll be this much, but if you're a 9-month employee, it'll be that much. And I don't know if you're aware that it wasn't just blanket. Everybody that worked during COVID is going to get $1,000. And I think I don't know if that's what you meant or if you realize that that's what you were voting on, but there was no questions for the 4 days off at Christmas, and yet this other thing was passed. Thank you.
Next name on the list is Ray Vukovic. And Mr. Vukovic, as soon as you start speaking, your time will begin.
Thank you. I want to apologize. We're breaking a family rule tonight. Normally, only one Vukovic speaks at one of these meetings, but since you're not meeting in July, we thought we'd double up tonight.
All right.
At the last few meetings, I've talked about an outstanding FOIA, and I've gotten most of the information, or as much as I'm going to get. There's still a little bit of the FOIAs that are still out there, but the FOIAs were pertaining to the 7 of you, and your emails are received and sent during the month of April. And the reason I did that is because at the time that the superintendent's contract was extended and the bonus was given, there was some chatter on social media that the board members' only official communication is through their district email, not Facebook, not telephone or whatever. So I thought, I'm going to go look. I'm going to go look for the big public outcry to do what you all vote, or 6 of the 7 of you voted to do. And going through what I've seen there, that wasn't there. But, you guys did it. It's water over the dam. But just what's taken so long is your legal department has had to go through, and I thought I was dealing with the FBI with redaction after redaction after redaction. And I understand that there's stuff that's confidential that you can't get out in the public. But the one set of emails, these are all the pages that are missing. Don't know why, but you'll go through several emails, and then all of a sudden 1 page is gone, or 8 pages are gone. And when you look at one of those pages that starts up again, it's interesting because it's in reference to a hotel bill from April at a Marriott. Now, if that pertains to one of the board members, the entire email should have been on here. It shouldn't have been redacted. And, you know, if you're so worried about the redactions, you really need to look at your items tonight on your personnel, because in all the years I've followed this government and other governments, I have never seen the names of people, employees that are being terminated, listed on a public document. So you probably need to check that and tighten that up a little bit, because that's not fair to those people. Whatever reason they're being terminated, their names shouldn't be out there in public. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vukovic and Ms. Vukovic, both for your remarks. Mr. Edwards, Rayon Edwards, did come in before time elapsed for public comment and made me aware that he would like to speak. So at this time, Mr. Edwards.
Good evening. Just to touch bases on what he said, you know, it's real ironic and unique that we come up here and we speak to you guys at every meeting. And you guys set up on this board, 6 of the 7 of y'all, and y'all said to us, oh, the people that voted for me told me to vote this way. So y'all blankly said in our face and y'all lied. That's what that's called. And we teach our kids not to do that. Like how? And I've been saying for the longest, this attorney that you guys got hired, she works for the board, not the superintendent. She's not. And everybody see everything that she do favors this superintendent, and that's not right. It's wrong. Y'all using her law firm to investigate things in the district is disgusting. Where's the transparency at? When are we going to stop rubbing elbows and start doing the job? I'm really trying to understand this, and I don't get it, y'all, and I swear I hate coming up here being like this. I hate feeling like I'm the meanest man on earth, because I actually respect a lot of you on this board, but it's starting to get beyond ridiculous. And the fact that none of y'all are saying anything is baffling to me, because I told my state officials that's all running for election, you can't pick and choose when you represent us. If you're going to do it, you got to do it all the way. Do you know how many of y'all I see in my community at community events? If Mr. Ewan ain't there, half of y'all won't even show up. How do y'all represent me? My community, where, when? We have a superintendent that don't even engage in our community. She come to events where there's cameras, she stay, they take a picture, and she leaves. She don't even stay and talk. A lot of them don't even know who she is. I think I've given her more PR than she gave herself, because I go on my social media and talk. But y'all see this and y'all not saying nothing. So I don't even want to talk about her no more. Because in my community, we call that a non-factor. I want to talk to y'all. I'm going to talk about y'all. Because we voted for y'all, and y'all hired her. That's y'all mess. Clean it up. We tired of talking. We tired of waiting. We one of the worst districts in the state. Stop saying y'all don't know that, because if I can get on my internet and look it up and figure it out, I know y'all can too. The buck stop here, y'all. How y'all want to play it? We can do it the professional way, or we can be unprofessional about it. But we tired. I'm tired. And my community say I have a right to speak for them. So I'm coming.
Thank you, Mr. Edwards. Appreciate all the comments for public comment. If we can get the screen back up, please. We are at the consent agenda. As a reminder, these items should be non-controversial, previously routine in nature, and or previously discussed. Any board member can ask that any items be held over for any reason. At the request of board members, we have broken them down into 2 consent agendas. One, as it relates to academics or student achievement, and the other one as it relates to our operations. So at this time, are there any items, and there was one correction if I'm under operations. So the consent agenda under academics, are there any items that any board members would like to see voted on separately?
None.
If not, do I have a motion to approve?
Go ahead, Ms. Leguizamo.
So moved.
Second.
It's easy.
So we got a motion from Ms. Leguizamo, second from Ms. Gonzalez. Any comments or questions on the motion?
Yeah, I got one comment.
I also have a comment. Go, Ms. Hannah.
Go ahead, Ms. Hannah.
Yeah, I just want to say that we are approving a lot of professional development, and yeah, I'm all for continual education, but I would like to see, as a board member, I certainly hope with concurrence of the board, that we can get some type of presentation in terms of the different conferences that our administrators and so forth are going on, so that we can gauge gauge what happened at the conferences and what is being brought back into the district to use.
Thank you, Ms. Hannah. Are there any other comments?
I had a couple comments. I really appreciate, and obviously I won't go down the line with some of the items, but I really appreciate the items that did have a breakdown of, you know, 1 administrator, 2 teachers, or so-and-so is going to the conference, and I recognize that this first item doesn't really have that breakdown, but if we could just implement that for all of the items as we move forward, I think that would really help us kind of get to what Ms. Hannah is talking about, of like who's gaining from the experience that we're investing in for them. But I really just want to highlight the purchase of materials for some of the high school textbooks, because some of that information is outdated. Like the copyright is from like 2014, 2013, and I'm really glad that those are moving forward, because we've seen a lot of materials for the elementary and early learning classes, but we're also, you know, prioritizing all of our schools with the materials that they need at every stage of their education. So I just wanted to highlight those things, because I think, you know, it's a large agenda, but a lot of these are directly impacting students and their classroom needs.
One other thing, Mr. Huey, and on the there was one of the professional development conferences that our equity director was going to, and I think I asked about this at the committee meeting. You know, if other people were gonna go, and I mean, we want to spread that knowledge around through the district, and not just keep it housed, you know, here at Lincoln Center. And so I would have liked to see more individuals attending the conference with our equity director. That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Hannah. With that, roll call vote.
Mr. Riddle?
Yes.
Ms. Callahan Wozniak?
Yes.
Mr. McBride?
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes.
Ms. Hannah?
Yes.
Ms. Leguizamo?
Yes.
President Ewing?
Yes. Items approved, motion carries. I'm going to read those into record. 10A, approval to attend Network for College Success, National Freshman Success. B, approval of renewal of responsibility for 2022-2023 school year. C, International Baccalaureate Professional Development. D, PBIS incentive vending machines. E, Clearview professional development request. F, Robbie Lightfoot professional development request. G, purchase of materials for anatomy and physiology course at WHS. H, purchase of materials for AP environmental science at WHS. I, approval to attend 12th annual national summit for courageous conversations. J, action approval for the renewal of Gaggle archival monitoring contract. K, approval for the renewal of file Waive MDM management software. L, action approval for the yearly renewal of Microsoft licensing agreement. M, renewal of Hapara, however you pronounce it. N, renewal of Remind software. O, renewal of Intrado and School Messenger System. P, approval to attend Dream Partnerships Conference in Portland, Oregon. Q, renewal for LinkedIn Technical Knowledge Training. R, renewal for Aubrey Platform. S, renewal of T-Mobile Student Wi-Fi Hotspots. T184 Graphing Calculator apps for Chromebooks. U, approval of to teach contract for co-teach teachers. V, approval to pay for second year renewal of 3-year contract for Goldbook. W, approval contract for bilingual speech and language evaluator. X, Board Policy 5201, Curriculum Second Reading, Equity Policy Review. PD, on leading professional learning communities hosted by Network for College Success. And Z, Carnegie Learning Professional Learning Services. We now are at the consent agenda. I'm going to ask that we vote on item A separately. And then do we have a motion to approve the rest?
Mr. Riddle, I so move.
Motion by
Second.
Mr. Riddle, second by Ms. Leguizamo. Any comments or questions on the motion?
My one comment is that just so that people are aware, and I really hope that people and that the rest of the board shares the policy revisions that we're approving, because some of the policy revisions that we're voting on and the one that just passed are really ambitious in their content. The things that we're trying to stand for as a district, I think, are going to really benefit students, and the fact that we have it in writing saying that this is the way that we're moving and this is how we can have parents be more involved in their child's education and understand what they're learning as a curriculum, I think is really great. And that's it.
Thank you. So we had a motion and a second. Go ahead, Ms. Leguizamo.
Yeah, so thank you, Ms. Gonzalez, in regards to bringing that up. And that is in regards to item J on the consent agenda for operations. And I did just want to highlight one major change that is that this policy is going to change. And that allows for parents to volunteer in school buildings in lieu of paying some school fees.
Yeah.
So it depends on the school fees, but that is, we also know that time is very valuable, and sometimes our families are able to donate their time, and I am sure that a lot of our building principals and staff will be excited about having volunteers in their building, and that goes towards student fees. And so if you read the board policy, I am excited about that. The team that worked on that was really wanted to bring that forward. So thank you for that, Board President.
Can I ask the question?
Yeah, I was going to ask a question on that too.
Okay, Mr. Riddle first, and then Ms.
Just a
Hannah.
clarification, Ms. Leguizamo, I think that doesn't become effective though until July 1st of 2023.
That is correct.
So
That
it
becomes
takes time for us to plan it and get the procedures in place, correct?
Yes, we have to start establishing, now that the policy is in effect, we have to start establishing a practice around that, what that looks like, documentation and so on and so forth. So we're going to give it a year for them to figure that out. We'll probably might do a few pilots here and there, and we might not know. But it's also gives discretion to this building, this principal buildings at each building to do that. So.
Right, and I agree with you and Ms. Leguizamo, and
Gonzalez.
that it indeed is a forward-thinking policy, and it really, the aim is to get parents involved with their kids, which we all know the children do better, the students do better when their parents are involved.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You know what?
I just want
I said Ms. Hannah, and then Ms. Hannah, and then Ms. McBride.
No, I just want, I love that, division, that revision of the policy. I do, however, hope you all look at a connecting issue that goes along with that, and that's with the parent, with they coming in, volunteers coming into the building, being fingerprinted, and all of that, background checks and all that. So I certainly hope that you all look at that when you all are looking further into that policy, because it's an excellent way, to engage our parents,
Yeah.
but make sure that we're looking into that.
And it's great that you bring that up, and that's one of the reasons why they need a little bit of time to implement some things. But our FACE department has a similar situation where they already kind of have some practices and protocols in regards to volunteers, and some of the training that they go through as well. Because sometimes as a volunteer, you might experience situations that you're not really quite sure how to handle and what your role is. Seeing some of those situations, and so there's some really interesting training. I don't know if FACE is going to include that as part of this program, but this is where we have at least a good year to fine tune what that's going to look like, and that, yes, does include background checks, and to ensure that the people that are volunteering in our school districts also can volunteer in our school districts. So thank you for that, Ms. Hannah.
Thank you. All right, so we have a motion to approve items B. Mr. McBride.
I was just going to say, ain't nothing new under the sun. Private schools been doing it for years.
Awesome. So motion to approve items B through J. And we had a second. Roll call vote.
Mr. Riddle?
Yes.
Ms. Callahan-Wozniak?
Yes.
Mr. McBride?
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes.
Ms. Hannah?
Yes.
Ms. Leguizamo?
Yes.
President Ewing?
Yes. Items approved, motion carries. For the record, 11B, continuing resolution authority for fiscal year 2022-2023. C, FY23 formal purchases, paper, computer supplies, standard supplies, and custodial supplies. D, approval of facility fee waiver for City of Waukegan pageant 2022. Approval of facility fee waiver for Waukegan Band Foundation. F, attendance at 2022 ASBO conferences and expo. G, creation of communication and engagement facilitator FTE position at Waukegan High School. H, approval of men of color and educational leadership. I, approval to attend 2022 International Association of Administrative Professionals. And J, board policies 3202, tuition for non-resident students, 3203, school fees and fee waivers, and 3203, fees, instructional materials et al. Second reading. Now we're going to go back up to item 11A, approval for safety and security consulting services proposal. Superintendent.
It is the recommendation that the Board of Education authorize the superintendent to approve the safety and security proposal between R.J. Harris and Associates and WPS 60 in the amount of $75,000, subject to final agreement as to the district standard terms for independent contract consultants.
Mr. Riddle, I so move. We approve the
Motion by Mr. Riddle, second came from Mr. McBride. Any comments or questions on the motion? Roll call vote, please.
Oh, I had a comment.
Go ahead, Ms. Gonzalez.
This one, this item for me is really conflicting because I understand, and I respect Mr. Harris a lot. I think that he's been a value add to our team as a board, and I recognize the work that he's been doing in the community as well with different local entities. But I think the thing that I struggle with in the scope of work in the proposal is that I think for me, what we already sort of know what needs to happen with our staff, that they need training, and we've been investing in that. So I'm not sure if I'm confident that we need the consulting around figuring out the rest of that work. And we've been hearing from students that they want the social emotional support. And I think that really helps with the safety component within the school buildings. So that's the way that I'm perceiving this particular item, and why I'm going to vote the way that I'm voting.
Yeah.
Well, I am too. I don't know nothing about safety. I've never been to a law enforcement school, so I can't comment on it. But I do know one thing. Outside of Mr. Harris, last time I heard, him and the chief of police is supposed to be involved in this program. And if I can respect the chief of police for doing all the services he did for Waukegan and retired, I think the man have a host of knowledge. He might be able to help us out here with some safety. That's where I'm at with that.
Awesome. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Riddle?
Yes.
Ms. Callahan Wozniak?
Yes.
Mr. McBride?
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez?
Respectfully, no.
Ms. Hannah?
No.
Ms. Leguizamo?
Yes.
President Ewing?
Yes, item approved, motion carries. We are now down at personnel items. If there's anybody who doesn't oppose, I'll ask for a motion to approve items 13A, B, and C.
So moved.
So the motion came from
Second.
Ms. Leguizamo. Second came from Ms. Gonzalez. And Superintendent, you're going to have to read all of those. So for 13A, attendance.
It is E.
A, B, and C.
Yes.
So 13A, attendance at 2022 Navsea Conference. B, attendance at 2022 ALIS Conference. And C, attendance at the second annual ALIS Small and Large School District Symposium. If we can go back up, or Superintendent, if you can read each of those recommended items.
It is recommended the Board of Education approve the attendance of 10 employees and 1 board member listed below to the 2022 National Alliance of Black School Educators, NABSC, National Conference in National Harbor, Maryland from November 30th to December 4th, 2022 at an estimated cost of $2,200 per person for a total cost of $24,200. Cost includes airfare, lodging, registration fees, and per diems. The Board of Education, the administration is asking that the Board of Education approve the attendance of 10 employees listed below to the 2022 National Association of Latino Administrators and Superintendents ALAS Education Summit in San Juan, Puerto Rico from October 5th to October 7th, 2022 at an estimated cost of $20.50 per person for a total of $20,500. Cost includes airfare, lodging, registration fees, and per diem. Item C is requesting that the Board of Education approve the attendance of Teresa Placencia at the second annual Association of Latino Administrators and Superintendents Small and Large School District Symposium in Washington, D.C. on July 21st and 22nd at the estimated cost of $500.15. The superintendent has been selected to speak at the event and will have many of her costs covered by ALAS. The estimated cost to cover a portion of lodging, airfare, and per diem.
Any comments or questions on the motion?
Yeah, I have one question regarding the last conference. I just wanted to know, Superintendent, why weren't there any other individuals included except for Latinos? I mean, we have a district, predominant school district of Latino students, and everyone that comes in, that we all are working with all students, right? And I'm sure there were other people that would have liked to attend that conference. I mean, I would have liked to attend it because I'm involved with the Latino coalition here in Waukegan, you know, because I'm interested in all kids. I'm just asking, you know, why other people were not included.
So I'm confused. Are you talking about item C? You said the last one.
Wait a minute, which I'm talking about this one.
B. B as in boy.
I'm talking about the ALAS conference.
So item B?
Yes.
Is yes. So if you look at item A, Ms. Hannah, and item B, the individuals targeted were either of African American or Latinos, because the conference are to support Latinos administrators. as an NA, I don't have my glasses.
Navsea.
I always say it wrong.
Navsea is for school board members.
No, it's not, Ms. Hannah. It's the National Association of Black Educators. I think there's two different ones.
They're sister organizations and do a lot of work together. I did attend Alice last year. I had a good time. I learned a lot, met a lot of people. So, Ms. Hannah, are you asking that we bring back a recommendation for you to be able to attend Alice?
I am October.
November 30th to December 4th. I'm sorry, can you click on item B? It's October 5th to October 7th.
Yeah.
We can bring that back if that, review your schedule, if that's something that you like to attend.
Yes.
We can check the board budget and we can bring it back as an item.
Yes.
All right, but right now on the floor, we have a motion to approve items A, B, and C. And if there are no further questions or comments, roll call vote.
Mr. Riddle?
Yes.
Ms. Callahan-Wozniak?
Yes.
Mr. McBride?
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes.
Ms. Hannah?
Yes.
Ms. Leguizamo?
Yes.
President Ewing?
Yes. Item approved, motion carries. We are now at
One question. Okay, you're gonna bring it back, right? And I do wanna attend, right? But if they're going to, I'm sure you guys are gonna like get your start all of the travel arrangements and everything.
Hold on, she's talking. 1 minute. I'm sorry. Go ahead, I'm
That
sorry.
you all are gonna do the travel arrangements and all of that, right? Because once we approve it, right, you're gonna get started doing that, right? And what my point is, so that I could be in connection with the group and don't have to have like different airline and different hotel and all of that. That's what I'm talking about.
Do we
If-
want to, sorry, Ms. Hannah, do we want to rescind the approval and do an amendment to that particular item so that she's included as a soft nod and then we can vote on a yes to it?
Thank you, Ms. Gonzalez, because that's what I don't want to happen.
Yeah.
we approved them all as one action, so anybody can amend their motion. But again, this goes back to I would have done it before if I knew anybody was interested. So we can go back. I'm not gonna make a big issue out of it, but for clarity of record, I'm gonna ask that we vote on each item separately. Then
I can just bring it back on Tuesday. We're
You,
having
so
You say
when
what?
I took a look at that conference, I didn't see any sort of board things on the agenda. So I mean,
which
when you look at the agenda for Alice, I didn't see anything on there where a board member would obtain information from. So I thought that we go on conferences where board members would retain information from. But Board President, you said that you had went there. Is there something that maybe you could probably remember from the conference that?
Superintendent got an award. Didn't you go for that?
Yeah, I think that was probably why there was an award at one point. I know there was like an Alice thing.
again, so Alice is awesome, Navsea is awesome. They're geared towards educators and Board of Education members. It's important for us to attend these events. If there's not concurrence and we want to come back as a separate action, I'm fine with that. I just want us, again, this has been 10 minutes. What was supposed to be an expedited conversation in order for us to be able to move through the agenda. So I guess what I'm looking for right now is, do we have a motion to rescind? I guess at this point, what is even, we voted on it. So any member can, yeah, we voted and we approved it as is. We have, again, and Ms. Hannah, so your point is taken. Superintendent, she'd like to be included. Again, part of that is, and we always talk about procedure, is when does it happen, right? In this situation, we're asking for it to happen pre-board approval. So we will discuss that and I guess come back, but we did vote on it.
we're having a board meeting on Tuesday, so we can always add another agenda item, Ms. Hannah, for you at that time.
Right, and so how are you going to handle it so that, I mean, I know you all are going to be making arrangements.
Can we talk
That's
about
what I'm
this as
talking
a
about.
We can
separate
talk
us
offline.
issue?
We can talk offline. I'll wait around with you.
Thank you. All right, we're at item 13D, personnel for 6/28/2022. Yeah, we voted. It passed. Yep.
So in here, can we
So-
verify, is
Yep.
Schedule T as in Tom 297 correct or incorrect as it is on board docs? I believe it is incorrect.
The adjusted one I thought was L982.
Is that what you were telling me?
L928.
L928.
So what am I reading now?
So do we have a
'cause I
motion
believe-
to approve item 6/28/2022? Nope, we don't have a motion yet.
Because I believe that name is still listed. I'm looking on board docs now. This is
Yeah, collected copy that was shared.
So go ahead. If we got item D, 6/28/2022,
Okay, 'cause
and
what's on board
Superintendent,
docs
can you
now
move
is
the
still-
recommended action?
Sure. It is a recommendation that the Board of
Oh, okay.
Education accept the administration's recommendation to approve the appointments, termination, and accept the resignations and retirements as found on schedules F981, T297, L298 as corrected, G639.
so moved.
Motion by Ms. Leguizamo,
Second.
second by Ms. Wozniak. Any other comments or questions to the minutes?
Okay.
So
No.
just to clarify, Board President, we've corrected item X, that XA1X
It is now listed as a resignation.
resignation. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, comments, concerns? Roll call vote.
Mr. Riddle?
Yes.
Ms. Callahan Wozniak?
Yes.
Mr. McBride?
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes.
Ms. Hannah?
Yes.
Ms. Leguizamo?
Yes.
President Ewing?
Yes, item approved, motion carries. And Kathy, during legal report, if you would speak to the listing of names, since this is something that has come up, and maybe a change in practice. All right, next up is item 13E, appeal of uniform grievance complaint 2022.
We want to
Wait, we have
recognize-
administrative appointments?
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, if we can get them on the screen.
At this time, I'd like to welcome Dr. Kevin Brown, who previously served as the Deputy Superintendent in Forest Park. He will now serve as the Academic Chair of Social Studies at the Brookside campus with $90,000. Welcome back, Dr. Brown.
Welcome back.
Yes, welcome back.
At this time, I'd like to welcome Ms. Araceli Arias, who previously served as an MTSS specialist at Lincoln Center. She will now serve as the new assistant principal at the Brookside campus with a starting salary of $95,000. Congratulations, Ms. Arias. We'll do fist bumps, everyone, for your.
Congratulations.
No need to apologize.
Thank you, sir.
COVID, you may never know.
Welcome back.
Our next appointment will be Mr. Michael Fields, who previously served as an assistant principal in Arlington Heights. He will now serve as the new assistant principal of the Brookside campus with a starting salary of $95,000. Congratulations, Mr. Fields. Congratulations, Mr. Fields.
Welcome to Waukegan. Thank you.
We believe in you. Can I have, I know I have the three assistant principals from Brookside in the audience. Can I have you all three stand up? These are our new assistant principals for the Brookside campus. Next appointment. Conant? Brian, give me 1 minute. Our next appointment will be Brian Conant, who previously served as an English division head in Oak Park. He will now serve as an assistant principal at the Washington campus with a starting salary of $95,000. Congratulations, Mr. Conant. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Our next appointment will be Mr. Eric Hamilton, who previously served as a principal in Antioch. He will now serve as the assistant principal at the Washington campus with a starting salary of $95,000. Congratulations, Mr. Hamilton. Congratulations.
You walk like you do, like you make it.
Welcome.
Congratulations.
Yes, sir.
Our next appointment will be Terrence Thomas, who previously served as a CTE teacher at the Washington campus. He will now serve as the assistant principal at the Washington campus with a starting salary of $95,000. Congratulations, Mr. Thomas. He's not here. Okay. Well, so Dan, since I have the principal of the Washington campus, can we have you stand up with your assistant principals that represent the Washington High School? Welcome to Waukegan. Our next appointment will be Darcy Willis, who previously served as an assistant principal in Morton Grove. She will now serve as the coordinator of early childhood with a starting salary of $96,000. Congratulations, Ms. Willis.
Thank you. We appreciate you guys joining Waukegan and look forward to the great work that you will do for our students. All right. We are at 13E, Appeal of Uniform Grievance Complaint 2022 E/E4 under Board Policy 2110.
It is the recommendation that the Board of Education deny the uniform grievance complaint appeal lodged by employee number 18902 under Board Policy 2110.
Mr. Riddle, I so move. We approve the motion.
Motion by Mr. Riddle.
Second.
Second by Ms. Gonzalez. Any comments or questions on the motion? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Riddle?
Yes.
Ms. Callahan Wozniak?
Yes.
Mr. McBride?
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes.
Ms. Hannah?
No.
Ms. Leguizamo?
Yes.
President Ewing?
Yes, items approved, motion carries. We are now at 16A. And again, do we want to take A and B? Is there going to be a lot of conversation on B?
No.
I motion
Would
to
it be?
vote. Oh.
I want to
I
give
would
everybody,
wanna take
otherwise
these
I want to take A
separate.
and B. Okay, so we want to take them separate. Item 16A, ratification of the second processing of board bills for June 2022. Manual check request payments and First Midwest insurance payments for the period of June 8, 2022 through June 21st, 2022.
It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Education ratify the second processing of board bills for June 2022 and manual check request payments and First Midwest insurance payments for the period of June 8, 2022 through June 21st, 2022. The accounts payable board June 8, 2022 through June 21st, 2022 payments total $4,280,047.99. The manual check request payments for the period of June 8, 2022 through June 21st, 2022 total $1,198,442.47. The First Midwest insurance payments for the period of June 8, 2022 through June 21st, 2022 total $0.
I motion to approve the item as presented.
Motion by Ms. Gonzalez.
Second.
Second, Ms. Wozniak. Any comments or questions on the motion? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Riddle?
Yes.
Ms. Callahan Wozniak?
Yes.
Mr. McBride?
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes.
Ms. Hannah?
Yes.
Ms. Leguizamo?
Yes.
President Ewing?
Sorry. What was that? What was the last name?
President Ewing?
Yes, item approved, motion carries. All right, we are now at 16B, approval to waive student registration fees for school year 2023.
It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Education waive student registration fees for school year 2023.
I so move that we accept the recommendation as presented.
Second.
A motion by Ms. Hannah, second came from Ms. Gonzalez. Any comments or questions on the motion?
Question.
Go ahead, Ms. Leguizamo.
I don't know who's here in the audience to answer this question, but this is just for school fees, or this is also for the one-to-one electronic fees? Yeah.
Registration.
So just to clarify for the mic that it is only just for the school registration fee, and therefore the one-to-one electronic fees, which I believe is $50. Currently, will still be responsible for our families.
There's a $50, and Dr. Cuevas is here, but there was $50 we've been historically charging for that. I know that there's currently insurance that we purchased when we got these one-to-one Chromebooks, and he may or may not charge that, but he'll come up and speak more about it.
So if I could, Mr. Cuevas, can you speak to the difference between the fee and replacement costs, please?
Definitely. Good evening, Board President, Superintendent, board members, and community members. The $50 fees, we're not charging that for our students. And the repair fees, we're not charging that either. The reason why we're not charging the repair fees is because when we purchased the Chromebooks, we added 4 years for repair services.
Good.
Now, if the manufacturer, Dell, if they reject the repair because it's not considered an accidental damage, that's when we're going to charge the students to buy the parts. There are times that Dell, they rejected, they said this screen, it was not accidental, it was intentionally, and they would not fix it. Then we need to pay for that, and at that point, we will contact the principal and we'll basically notify the families that they will need to pay for the parts.
And so what is from the very beginning, what I understand is that the that $50 that parents pay every year was for insurance on that. That's what it originally started out as, and for insurance on the devices. And so if it's not that, now what has it evolved to?
We stopped that practice almost 3 years ago, so we were not charging the $50.
So no student is charged $50?
For the last 3 years, no.
Okay, well then I think that needs to be looked at and reviewed for the last 3 years as to whether they were charging students that fee, Dr. Cuevas.
Yeah,
okay.
We can take a look, but they were not being charged, for
okay,
that.
but would you please, Superintendent, okay, could you please check that? Because people that from seniors, I mean, and I'm talking this year, seniors had reported to me that they were that they had been charged for $50 fees. And so if you say that we were not doing it, then those students and parents should not have been liable for that. So I'm just asking if it could be looked into and reviewed, okay, about the $50 fee.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Ms.
How
Waive.
often is Dell saying that the damage is not common?
Accidental.
Or it's not accidental?
So it all depends on how severe is the damage. So if it's something that they see that it was intentionally, so if it's a broken key, they will replace it. If it's a damaged modern board, they will replace it. But if it's bended, that someone actually
Ran over it with a car.
right, that's when they will say
set up
this is
the
not
homework
accidental.
And
Okay.
threw it on the floor. Don't write "I hate my homework" on the screen.
So we have one time a situation that a family member took the Chromebook from the student and put it in the oven during the summer.
Yep.
Then someone went, turned on the oven, it was all melted.
Yep.
In that situation, basically they said, we cannot fix this.
But it's an accident.
Right, no, well,
but for them, it's not an accident.
It was an accident.
So, and I get to keep focused on this action. So this action is related to school fees. If there's any
Right.
other additional information that the board would like back, I know we talked. Go ahead, Mr. Riddle.
Yeah, now, I would like to ask Ms. Polk, just to clarify, what's the rationale for waiving the fees, the registration fees? I see our collection rate this year has only been 11.24%, so it's a very low collection rate of those who owed a fee. 69% of the fees are waived, correct?
Yes.
So is it because our collection rate is so low that we're just deciding to no longer charge? And next year, I thought we just voted on something that those fees who are being waived are going to be volunteered. I don't understand the rationale. If you're going to waive the fees this year, why would somebody choose to get involved next year? Because they'll say, wait a second, the fees have been waived last year, why don't they just waive them all this year again? Why should I get involved? So I don't know, just what's the rationale for this request?
Yes. We've waived the fees 2 straight years, and much of that was due in large part to COVID and recession across the country, particularly with our community.
Okay.
That's an important aspect. Another important aspect is that over the course of many years, the board has inquired about waiving fees.
Right.
And so in my 14 plus years in the district, we've had a small collection rate of the fees. Yes, we assess upwards of $1.8 million or so, but we collect between $100,000 to $300,000, even with our attempts to send out the collection letters. So because of the economics and the socio-economic dynamics of our community, we're making this recommendation that we again consider waiving the fees.
And what is the current registration fee for one child, and is there a different rate if you have 2 or 3?
It is a different rate if there's more than one child. I don't know the rates off the top of my head, but I know that it varies based on the number of children within the district.
At a grade level.
Ms. Hannah.
So the rationale to waive them is just because the collection rate is so low and there's a lot of effort put into collecting, and because of the economics of our area, that's why we're deciding.
Primarily because of the economics of our community.
So how will that new policy, I don't understand how the new policy will work then, if we're waiving them this year and next year we implement a policy to waive them to get people to get involved. It doesn't seem like to me like the policy is going to work. What's the
Ms.
rationale?
Hannah is raising her hand, but would you like to answer that, Ms. Hannah? Because I think that I have a response.
Right, okay, and I am with you, Mr. Riddle.
Yes.
However, okay, only kind of a percentage with you, okay? The other, we are a low-income school district.
Yes.
And we have many families that are on assistance. And because of that, we can't really charge them fees. Okay, registration
we can charge
and school
them.
fees.
We just can't necessarily. I mean, we have a waiver policy for those who are on, having trouble paying their fee.
That's a lot of our families.
But I don't understand why we are just approved a policy change where there's, that we're going to do waivers for the 2023 when we're waiving the policy. That's the rationale. I'm just confused about it.
Right.
I don't understand the rationale.
I'd also like to.
So we got a
anyway,
lot of crosstalk. So I heard Ms. Hannah. If you finish your thought, then I'm gonna go to Ms. Gonzalez. Go ahead, Ms. Hannah.
the waiving of the fees, the registration fees, wonderful, okay? But you know how it's been throughout the years, okay, with that. I would, the waiving of the fees, as I was talking with Miss Leguizamo, many people have problems with, like, if they want their children involved in sports, and those sports fees would be something that I would be concerned about in terms of waiving, having some type of waiver for, because I think we have the registration fees. I understand that we need to get the approval from the board, right, for that. But I would like us to look into helping out with other type of fees that our families have to be consider paying for their child's participation.
I think we do waive sports fees and things as well.
We do not.
No, we do not.
We do not.
Nope.
We do not.
But to respond to your question, we conducted a survey. And in that survey, not 100% of our participants said they wanted to waive the fees. A large number, or large percentage of the respondents say they wanted to waive the fees. But we had a number of them, in excess of 40%, and you remember, who said that they believed that we should charge something. So our recommendation for that policy was founded upon the majority respondents who wanted to either waive the fees or come up with another type of process whereby we can reduce the fees or the burden on the families. And the committee that we had spoke about how we can do that, and one of the recommendations was that we come up with volunteerism, which would promote parents and also students participating within the schools or the community. And that's how we came up with the policy change. Another piece that we thought was important in the committee is that maybe the economy is not going to be as it is always. Right. And so maybe our district is not going to be as fiscally solvent as we are now. And then we may want to, at some time in the future, collect fees. And so this policy was written with all of those things in mind, taking into account the committee members as well as the respondents' viewpoints.
Okay. All right. So we're waiving the fees just for this year.
Next year.
You're welcome.
Ms. Wozniak?
So who is creating the volunteer things? Is there a committee that's suggesting how this should all roll out and happen? And I'd be interested in serving on that committee.
We have not developed that yet, but we spoke about where that could possibly be housed and some ideas about how we would develop that, but we haven't built out the implementation plan.
Right,
But,
and like what kind of things qualify for volunteerism? If being a booster club, I'd love to see Booster Club get back and active, and volunteering for that, would that be one of those?
We haven't built it out, but
so, okay, and if they're an AMP and the parents that work on ASIS, am I saying that right? Would they qualify for this? We have to.
That's further discussion. We have to build that out, but all of those are great ideas.
Okay.
And we kind of discussed some of those, but it wasn't solidified at all.
Ms. Leguizamo?
So, Ms. Polk, just to clarify here, so as we're waiving fees, and we have for the past 2 years, that means that that's money that is no longer coming into the district, even though we didn't really collect on it that much, right?
Correct.
Even the 11%, let's just say that. So registration fees are supposed to go towards something. Do you know what those somethings are? I believe it was something with like, it kind of went into like the schools, like the school's pot of money or something like that, right?
Yes, because the district is actually advancing all expenditures, I mean, across the board. The district is advancing everything. And so collecting some of these registration fees would help with paper and all of the supplies that the district is supplying for the schools. We don't necessarily give that money back to the schools per se when it's collected, because we've done that when we approve the budgets for the schools.
Right. And so, and to the end point of that question, right, those school districts or those school buildings are not losing anything because they're not receiving the school registration fees. And that's where some people, I think, have some concerns when it comes to what does my school registration fee go towards, right?
Yeah.
And now that it's not going to be there, are they still going to provide that, the paper, the pens, and so on and so forth, the school supplies?
Absolutely.
So I definitely wanted to make sure that we're on record that, because of our current status in regards of our budgeting process and the way that we are currently solvent at this moment, it's a good time, and we're not going to lose any of those services that each school building has.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you for that. Board President, those are all my questions.
Thank you. All right, we have a motion and a second. I think it's the right thing to do. We can afford it. 69% of our students fall below the poverty line. We waive a majority of these and we don't collect on the others. So I support this effort. With that, we call the question. Roll call vote.
Mr. Riddle?
I'm going to vote against it because, again, I feel like something should be paid to educate children. It's less than 1% we're asking in registration fees. So it's $350 million budget. I think we can waive those who can't afford it, but I think people should realize it costs something to educate their children. And I know taxes go to that too, but I think most schools charge a registration fee. So I think I'm voting no.
Ms. Callahan Wozniak?
Yes.
Mr. McBride?
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes.
Ms. Hannah?
Yes.
Ms. Leguizamo?
Yes.
President Ewing?
Yes, item approved, motion carries. We are at reports. It is 8:23. Do we have any committee reports at this time?
No. Oh, just that we are already scheduling a workshop in July, early July, for the graduation policy, so I appreciate that we're doing that.
All right, Douglas report, is there any?
I'd just like to mention that that I sent an email to you along with the superintendent, Mr. Dr. Cesario and Ms. Ambrosio, for the request to have Ms. Ambrosio join the Literacy Coalition, to have her attend a meeting with them. And I am waiting because the meeting is going to be scheduled for June 12th and 13th. And I would like to get back to the individuals that that asked for if Ms. Ambrosio could be included, and how it all happened was that because I am a part of the Literacy Coalition, I was talking about our bilingual program and how the bilingual director had added, had started working with the phonics in the program, and they were very excited and very interested in talking with her, and seeing how she worked with phonics and other questions that they had. And so I'm still just awaiting some type of reply. to, because I thought it's beneficial for our district because this is a statewide initiative for literacy in Illinois with our kids, and I just thought it would look good for our district, and the origin of this came when we submitted the resolution to the state board, and so that's where all of this was born from.
Ms. Hannah, we are in receipt of your email, and we will get back to you.
All righty, thank you.
All right, we are at superintendent's report, which I've asked to hold due to time. There was for legal, I don't see Kathy, Ms. Vanderbroek.
She's in the back. You want me to stop?
No, it's okay. We were looking for board concurrence, but we can present that the individuals from public comment have already left, but it was in reference to why names were listed. I know we talked about the change in procedure a few times ago. It doesn't happen often, and so with board concurrence, I wanted her to speak to why we made that decision and that change. It has come up. We have discussed it, but I want to reiterate why that was done. But she's not available. So I'm going to go to board member time.
I'm sorry, old business, can we have a report on the wraparound at our next meeting? What's going on, where we are at, and everything?
Sure.
Great.
Can I add to old? Kinda.
Go ahead.
Board President, could we also, if we're in an old business, could we get a report maybe on what's happening on the solar field? I know that was supposed to be started this year, but I see no action there. No digging, no nothing, and if they were going to do it, they should do it in the summertime when they can put those installations in.
Hopefully they won't be digging, but yes.
Yeah, no, they're not going to dig down, but they're going to be putting
have to
something on
dig.
top of the some solar panels or get started on
Right.
it.
They just can't break the seal.
Ms.
I'm
Leguizamo.
waiting a long time for that.
Yeah, that's good. I sent an email in regards to curriculum compliance for our upcoming school year. I know it was a big, lengthy list. I just wanted to see if you could report back to the board on that one to see where we are.
We're working on it.
It's a big list, so we'll go from there. Thank you. I think that's all the old.
All right, there's no old. Before I go to board member time, there was and I don't know if that's what Kathy is checking on. I believe that we voted on the items as it related to Alice Navsea. There was some confusion as to did we vote on them or did we not.
I don't think we did, sir. I don't think we called I think you called the question, but the vote never was taken. Am I correct? The vote never was. We never.
There was not I didn't hear the motion.
The motion.
Well, the motion was made because we
But
took
we
all
didn't
three items
vote.
together.
Can we just vote
Do
again?
you have? Yeah, no, because that's why we want to
didn't
make
vote.
sure. So the question, Cassandra, we took them as an item. So we took A, B, and C.
Mhm.
You didn't hear the motion.
No.
We couldn't have discussed it without a motion.
Right.
So do we remember who made the motion to approve items A, B,
I
and
think
C?
I might have made the
Ms.
motion.
Gonzalez made the motion.
Did I second it? I
Probably.
don't remember.
I think it was you.
Ms. Leguizamo seconded
But
the.
we never called the question.
Yeah, I think you're
I
right.
mean,
Maybe
we
may
never.
not have called the question.
Yeah, we didn't. We never voted.
We did see it.
We did talk through it.
That one was all in favor.
We couldn't have done that.
No,
A, B,
we.
and C?
Yeah, A, B, and C.
Yeah,
Is-
we took
is
them. Everybody voted. Nobody voted against
Nick, are
it.
you looking up YouTube?
That was an all in favor.
I don't think.
A, B, and C,
Were
you
we
did do something
supposed
like
to take all in favor vote for that?
Why wouldn't we? It's a conference expenditure. We took A, B,
Okay,
and C.
I don't.
The
I don't-
But
question,
you said it was
the
a roll
question
call.
was only the amendment, no?
Yes.
Yes, it was a roll call, Ms. Sanders. I get what you're saying. It was the expenditure of money. It was not a voice vote.
Right.
It was a roll call vote.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
everyone who voted was in favor.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I want to make sure. I don't want there to be any questions about it. So
They're just, no, they did
Maybe we should vote on it again, just to be sure.
Oh, no.
She's gonna listen
No,
to
no,
the
no.
tape.
No.
For A, B, and C.
Okay, this is,
You sure we
No,
voted
we
on it
just
with a roll call?
listened to the recording. After you read each item, there was no motion. So I would suggest.
How do we read it?
That's what I was
You
saying.
got caught up in the conversation, you asked for comment.
After the motion?
No, after she read the items. You went right
I
to
didn't think we
comments,
took a
we
vote.
didn't
That's
get
what
a
I
motion.
said.
But we voted.
Yes.
But without a
I
motion.
don't
All thought there was a
understand that.
motion.
Okay.
There was
So
a
I would
motion.
just,
Yeah.
we were listening to the recording.
Understood.
We did not get a motion, that's why.
At this
Okay,
point,
well, I
then,
will make the motion now if we
and we
want to
can go
vote on
back.
it.
Do it again?
Yeah. Go back to it again.
okay. All right. Yeah, because I was going to you.
Yeah, I asked that. I said, if anybody opposes, do we have a motion to approve?
But nobody motioned.
Okay, right, my statement, but you didn't hear it in the recording. That's fine. I'll judge it.
I don't know.
You didn't hear it, so
I second.
hear it after the recommendations were read.
Okay,
So, do we have a motion to approve
so I will, motion to approve items
A and B?
13A, B, C.
See,
Got it?
And I'm sorry, because we're going back and Ms. Hannah has already asked, unless there's any opposition, I would like us to take items A and C to vote on those, and then I would like to amend, or not amend, but when we make the motion to include Ms. Hannah
Yes.
in that motion. So I'm going to ask for a motion for 13A, attendance at 2022 Navsea Conference, and C, attendance at second annual Alice Small and Large School District Symposium.
So I motion for A and C.
Motion by Ms. Gonzalez,
Second.
second by Mr. Riddle. Any comments or questions? Roll call vote.
Mr. Riddle,
Yes.
Ms. Callahan Wozniak,
Yes.
Mr. McBride,
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez,
Yes.
Ms. Hannah,
yes.
Ms. Leguizamo,
Yes.
President Ewing.
Yes. Item approved. Motion carries. We're now at item B. And I'm sorry.
13B.
No, we took 13A. We took 13C. We did not read the recommended action.
13A and C. I did. For A
Yeah.
and C, I did.
For A and C earlier or just now?
Earlier.
I did that.
But does she need to reread it now since we're taking the official
Kathy
vote?
knows what I'm saying.
Yes,
She did
let's-
not just read the recommended action.
Oh,
No,
not now.
no.
That's what
It's now.
she
See,
did
that's,
earlier.
that's where we got confused.
Doesn't matter.
because-
Doesn't matter. Yes.
One at a time.
All right, let me go. Here it goes.
All right, 13A, attendance at 2020 New Navsea Conference.
It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the attendance of 10 employees and 1 board member listed below the 2022 National Alliance of Black School Educators National Conference in National Harbor, Maryland from November 30th to December 4th, 2022 at an estimated cost of $2,200 per person for a total cost of $24,200. Cost includes airfare, lodging, registration fees, and per diem. It is
Nope. Do we have a motion?
Yeah, we got.
Go ahead.
No, we're gonna take them separate, I thought.
Take it separate.
Do it separate.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I motion to approve 13A
Yes.
as recommended by the superintendent, read twice already.
I'll second.
Making
Motion-
sure for the people back
Motion
home.
by Ms. Gonzalez, second by Mr. Riddle. Roll call vote.
Mr. Riddle,
Yes.
Ms. Callahan Wozniak,
Yes.
Mr. McBride,
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez,
Yes.
Ms. Hannah,
Yes.
Ms. Leguizamo,
Yes.
President Ewing.
Yes, item 13B, attendance at 2022 Alice Conference.
It is recommended the Board of Education approve the attendance of 10 employees listed below to the 2022 National Association of Latino Administrators and Superintendents, ALA's Education Summit in San Juan, Puerto Rico from October 5th to October 7th, 2022 at an estimated cost of $2,050 per person for a total cost of $20,500. Cost includes airfare, lodging, registration fees, and per diem.
We
I-
also further
I
amend.
You can
motion,
amend it. Wait a second, you got to amend it.
right, but I motion to make the
Superintendent.
recommendation to amend it, no?
No, superintendent, just read it with the inclusion. If you would like to
Oh.
add board member Anita Hannah to also reflect that $2,050 per person.
To include Board Member Anita Hannah at $2,050 per person.
For a total of $22,550.
Right.
All right. So that is the motion. Do we have a motion?
I motion.
Motion by Ms. Gonzalez.
Second.
Second by Ms. Leguizamo. Any comments or questions on the motion? Roll call vote.
Mr. Riddle?
Yes.
Ms. Callahan Wozniak?
Yes.
Mr. McBride?
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes.
Ms. Hannah?
Yes.
Ms. Leguizamo?
Yes.
President Ewing?
Yes, item approved, motion carries. Item 13C, attendance at second annual Alice Small and Large School District Symposium.
It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the attendance of Teresa Placencia at the Second Annual Association of Latino Administrators and Superintendents Small and Large School District Symposium in Washington, D.C. on July 21st and 22nd at an estimated cost of $515. The superintendent has been selected to speak at the event and will have many of her costs covered by ALAS. The estimated costs cover a portion of lodging, airfare, and per diem.
I motion.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Gonzalez, the second by Mr. Riddle. Roll call vote.
Mr. Riddle?
Yes.
Ms. Callahan Wozniak?
Yes.
Mr. McBride?
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes.
Ms. Hannah?
Yes.
Ms. Leguizamo?
Yes.
President Ewing?
Yes, item approved, motion carries. We are now at board member time. It's 8:36.
Yeah, I'll
ahead,
do
Ms.
mine
Hannah.
first. I would just like to say that it was an honor, a privilege, a humbling honor to be named a living legend for Juneteenth Living Legend. But I also would like to say thank you to all of the district staff that attended to support me, and that the superintendent came out, the Dr. Cesario came out, Mr. Hewing, Ms. Polk came out, many of the district, and I just appreciate that. And I just want to say thank you all.
Thank you, Ms. Hannah. Mr. McBride.
Thank you.
Ms. Leguizamo.
Thank you, Board President. Once again, I do want to congratulate Ms. Hannah in regards to the Living Legend Award that she received at the Juneteenth. I wish I would have been there. I was out of town, so I'm really excited. As you know, as I said in my post on social media, when one of us get an award, all of us gets an award. So it's really amazing. So thank you for all the work as well. I also wanted to just mention that Abbott Middle School will be hosting their annual celebration of learning. That is this Thursday at 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. If you can, please stop on by. They are going to have displays of, they're going to share their displays of what they have learned throughout the summer program. And there's been a lot of hands-on learning experiences going on in a lot of our summer programs. As you can see on our social media page, a lot of that is being highlighted out there. But there's a lot of work going on summer, so just wanted to bring that. Board President, I'm all set. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Leguizamo.
I forgot graduation. It's on the board. It's on the calendar. Who's next? Sorry.
Mr. Riddle.
Oh.
Thank you, Ms. Leguizamo, for reminding us of that. They did a terrific job last year. These kids got really excited about their capstone projects in summer school, so I definitely plan on attending. And with that, I'm going to pass because I know we want to get out of here before 9 o'clock.
Ms. Wozniak.
Well, I'm being asked to talk about graduation.
It's July
July
12th.
12th for summer school graduates, for high school graduates. So if you can make that, that would be fantastic. But it's
In the dog pound.
Tuesday the 12th from 10 to 11:30 at,
The dog pound.
I'm sorry,
The dog.
Dog pound.
the dog pound.
Sorry, thank you.
Okay. Another thing is that I was at the Juneteenth celebration at Stearns Plaza for the city of Waukegan, and it was a great event. But I thought this was an inspired booth at the event. North Chicago School District was there, and they were promoting hiring for their district. And I thought, darn, we missed that opportunity, and we should have been there too. So we need to be at these local events and maybe to promote hiring. And also, just to remind everybody, picnic on the Lincoln Center lawn for the parade on July 3rd. We'll start at noon, right? And handing out hot dogs and water. And the parade kicks off at 1, so stop on by. We'll see you there.
Thank you, Ms. Wozniak. Ms. Gonzalez?
I will pass, but I appreciate all the events going on. I'm there. I just don't take pictures. Stay hydrated.
What I will do is very briefly, there are two things that are coming up, which is the D60 Dogs is tomorrow. They have a meeting at Waukegan Public Library. So D60 Dogs, dads are great students and father figures. So come on out, and that's a 6. Last one was at People's Choice, and they're really good to get our fathers involved. And then I was already mentioned that we have our picnic this Sunday. So with that, if there aren't any further questions or comments, I would like for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Wozniak, second was Ms. McBride. All in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.